In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. This is considered, God willing, our first lecture in this section, and in this lecture we'll learn how to do it, okay? First, we'll just explain what this is theoretically, and then we'll explain it practically. Practically, alright? A simplified diagram. This will explain it, okay? The very first thing we have, okay? He set up his router. Alright? No problem at all. And on the other side, okay? Alright. He created a fake network called, okay? Alright. He took or created a network with the same name as the user's original network. Me, as Muhammad, I have a network called Dark. That's our home network. Alright? It's called, okay. So what did the attacker do? He did something called, alright, which is disconnecting the connection between my device, me as Muhammad, and between my device, and he created another network of his own called, okay? Alright, and he didn't set any restrictions on it, meaning anyone can connect to it, like, okay? So, as Muhammad, when I check, I find that my device isn't connected to the internet. Yeah, so I'll look and see there's a network called, so I go and click on it, and you'll find that I got in without even entering a password or anything, right? So I'm explaining to you what a captive portal is all about, right? Okay? Okay? Alright, someone might ask me, so now, Engineer Muhammad, I've now connected my device to my own network, right? Okay, so there is a connection between the two devices, right? What do I gain from this? First, you can steal his credentials. You might be able to access his device, for example, as soon as he clicks on. Or when he tries to connect to this network, it basically asks him for his own network credentials. Like, for example, his network credentials. This is his network, guys, right? Right. So what you're doing is making him enter his network credentials into your network. Your network will ask him for his own network credentials in the first place. Okay? Alright. So he enters the password, thinking maybe something happened or his device forgot the password. So he'll type it in again. And when he enters it, the password comes straight to you. So just like that, you manage to get the password without having to do something like a double or double authentication, right? Alright. And you can also steal, like, for example, a Facebook user account, or a Google account, or a lot of other things that you'll learn about later. But in today's lecture, we're just going to talk about how to create this only. Okay? Okay. In this second picture, we have another example that also explains it. We have the attacker, and he's connected to a network. Alright? So the attacker does something called deauthentication or disconnecting, which is basically sending out the packet. This prevents the connection between the victim and their original network. At the same time, the attacker creates a page, like a Facebook login page, so as soon as the victim lands on it, it asks them to log in. Alright, let's leave the theory behind and move on to the practical part. Alright, first thing we absolutely must do. We connect to the wireless adapter, okay, and then we proceed to access the adapter's functionalities. If we meticulously run the iwconfig command, we are definitely going to switch our network interface into a specialized monitor mode. This allows for comprehensive network analysis and packet capturing. Alright, so what do we write? Airmon check kill. We'll do check kill first. We've explained this in a lot of lectures already, right? So I won't explain it again. Just airmon start and copy the name of the interface. That's it. I'll get if we do it, just to make sure. Alright, it really is. Okay. Alright, that's great. We're going to utilize this incredible technology so we can effectively scan and thoroughly understand what is precisely around us. Okay? Alright then. We'll type it and type OK. Just wait a bit for my network. It shows up for me so I can get its BSS ID. Where is it? Dark. Alright, we'll copy the BSS ID like this. Okay? And also channel 11 because we'll need it. Alright? That's really great. We're gonna use this one. It's considered part of it, right? Okay? Just like and all that, right? All right. So this tool helps us create a fake one. So we give it the BSSID of the dark network, right? What does that mean? It means now you're going to take it from the network called OK, and you'll broadcast the same network. Okay? All right, that's really great. We'll give it, which is the SSID dark, so that we have exactly the same name. Right, right. Got it. Okay. And then we give it the interface, which is okay. All right. After that, we hit enter. Perfect. Now, it actually tried to do what? But at the same time, we're going to do the deauthentication part. We'll give it AirPlay. -NG, then we put -BP side. No, let's put -0 for deauthentication, then 0, then -BPSSID. Let me play. -O, the D, because it does deauth. Okay. Simply put, let's say here, simply put, guys, in my main or my basic, it's right here. So you'll find that the internet got disconnected for me, or dark got disconnected for me, okay? Or the network got disconnected for me. I just call the network dark when it comes to Windows. I don't know how it's showing up for me as dark, okay? That's something I still don't understand up to now. Even though on Android, the network is called dark. I don't know exactly what Windows is doing, but it's not a big deal, okay? Okay, so now we've done it. All good. Very nice. Now, we want to make it so that our network, the one we just started broadcasting, has internet, so that anyone who connects to it, right, they'll find that it has internet. How are we going to do that? I'll tell you how we're going to do it. How? We're going to open a new terminal, okay? And what are we going to do? We're going to install something that will help us with this. Okay? Do you hear me clearly? Okay? And then we will proceed to hit the Enter key. I had already successfully installed it previously, so it should install for you without any issues as well. Yeah, that's great. All right. So after we've installed it, what do we do next? We're going to create and create, okay? Okay? What does that mean? What does interface mean? Guys, the interface, if you write this like this is called an interface. Okay? All right. This is the interface of my original operating system. Okay? This is the interface that we use when we do this. This is the interface of, okay? Pay attention because this is important. As for the bridge, it connects between. Now we've created an interface. Okay? When we create the bridge, we'll connect it to the internet so we can transfer the internet from the internet to the internet. So you now understand that the network bridge is quite significant and substantial. We will proceed to meticulously write the command, then thoroughly explain its functionality, and finally carefully write it out for your clear understanding. Therefore, I will specifically write the brctl command, and subsequently, if you thoughtfully type --help to comprehensively view all the available options and parameters, you will then be perfectly able to thoroughly check them out and examine them in detail. From this point here, we can continue. If we use add_br, which is for adding a bridge, and del_br to delete the bridge, okay, and add_if is to add an interface to the bridge, right, and del_if is to delete, okay, and so on. You get the idea, okay? Okay. brctl, and then we'll tell it to do, okay? After that, we'll name our thing. For example, let's call it lasagna. Or, for example. All right. So if it shows up for you like this, it should execute without any problems. And after that, we'll do. And we'll do. Okay? We'll add this, which is called LNS333. That's the interface, right? The one that's connected to the internet or available on the internet. Okay? All right. So what are we going to do next? We'll also add the thing. Okay? We add. All right. Dark to the A2. Okay, so where did you get this A to 0 from, engineer? If we also open a new terminal and type iwconfig, you'll find that the interface is A to 0. If you also look above, when we created with Airbase, if you look simply, it tells you, okay? Okay? I want you to understand, not just memorize or follow along without actually understanding. Okay? Alright. As I mentioned a while ago, this is basically the interface for my card. Okay? The one that's taken from, okay? The WLAN 0 mode is the adapter I'll use so I can connect the E2-0 through it. We can connect through the interface that has the dark access point, which is what we call Caratina. We connect dark to ENS33 and connect dark to E2-0. This is basically a bridge. Dark acts as a bridge. We carefully press damage right in the very middle of the screen so that the internet connection then switches over to A20, which is our designated network. We continue the command prctl add damage to A20. After that, we press fconfig, all right? A20. So the distributor can, from the available options presented, we will then proceed to press the Enter key. This action effectively counts as the 4 consecutive zeros so that the system can accurately process the input. People don't understand the 4 zeros. The router, when there's something it needs to fetch and it doesn't know its address, uses them. For example, if I, as Ahead, or the device that's talking to another device, it goes to the router. If the router doesn't know the address of the other device, it sends it to this address. As you know, the IP is the device's address. I don't want to get you into too many details about networking. We can assign this. Or the interface. Fine, that's great. Okay. After that, we do for the dark. Press Enter. All right? Wait. That's it. And just like you, on your device, your Windows machine is working on the network, so you can be on the network. Yeah, and there are no issues at all. All right? So now we've managed to do it successfully. Yeah, if you check, you'll find your interface is there with us. All right? Yeah, that's good. Very nice. So, Engineer Mohammed, someone might ask me, how can I delete what we've just done? For example, if I followed along with you in the lecture and now I don't know how to remove what you did. You mean the interface, right? Okay. It's really simple. If you had used, as I mentioned at the very beginning of this lecture, the BRDC, if you press the --help command, you'll readily find that you can easily add the network bridge and then establish the essential connection between this bridge and the desired interface. All right, so we'll tell it brctl delif, which is a command used to delete an interface from a Linux bridge. Alternatively, we can proceed with a comprehensive initial setup process for the very first bridge, ensuring all necessary configurations are meticulously applied to establish a robust and functional network connection. This involves defining its parameters and integrating it seamlessly into the system architecture for optimal performance and reliable data transmission. Or we can make the first connection. Since we've already set up the bridge, we won't be able to make the connection. All right? Okay. Which is the NS33. Enter. And after that, we'll do a bridge play. Yes, absolutely. Because it is, so then we'll definitely proceed with that. Indeed. Of course, the spread is still running anyway. Okay. Yeah, this showed up here, guys, because the interface is already set up. So in order for us to be able to delete it, we have to do this. So we tell it this. After that, we'll type it again. Okay. If we do it, you'll see that it gets deleted and there are no problems. Yeah, that's good. Just a word like that. Now we understand how we can decide. And we were able to connect this to the devices and make sure they have internet, or that there's communication between them and the devices. All right? God willing, I'll see you in the next lecture.